I really can't help but to admire a developer that when pointed out mistakes or problems with their games, they are very quick to respond. And this was the case with Dungeon Adventures, but I'll come back to that in a bit. Dungeon Adventure is an old school retro dungeon crawler. Starting off in a tavern, you then adventure out into the dungeons and sprouting areas filled with different enemies. You start your adventures with a sword, a shield and a crossbow, and you gain more weapons as you progress through the game. And also feel free to like and subscribe this video. You can, as you progress, pick up and find different items, jewelry and everything, and these are very handy for later on in certain parts of the dungeons where you can trade items with a kind of travelling salesman. And you could also buy things like different weapons, potions, health serums and also arrows for your crossbow. The game holds almost a weird tense feeling as you play it. There are different creatures as you progress, some ranged, some melee, and I found the AI kind of is a mixed bag. Some will come towards you, some will stay away from you, but so far nothing too bad and nothing you don't really see in most other games. As for fast-paced action, I think this one's more of a slow burner. It's not that sort of game where you'll be running around fending off other enemies in a fast-paced battle. It's more of a strategic weighing up the possibilities of whether you have enough health and potions to regenerate yourself as you get into the fray of it. As mentioned before, you have a sword, a shield and a crossbow. Now I didn't use the crossbow that much as I didn't find it as accurate as I wanted to. And you also have a shield, and this shield regenerates itself, so once it's gone you just need to strategically back off or find a place to hide and wait for it to regenerate itself. The UI to the game, or the actual menu system that you have to go into to pick your weapons out of, I felt was a little bit fiddly to use whilst you're actually fighting enemies, which was a little bit frustrating at times when you sheathe your sword by mistake and then have to go into a menu in order to unsheathe your sword, as your shield can just be sheathed and unsheathed whenever. This is the same with the healing potions, where I would have thought there'd be a button dedicated just so that you can just press it in the heat of the action. Now I won't lie, I did kind of get used to it more and more as I played on, but it still felt a bit off to me. I'm thinking with a few little tweaks this can actually be adjusted and fixed quite easily. There was a few other problems that I found with the game, but I'm not going to mention them because I mentioned them to the dev and he basically just fixed them straight away. There was one other thing that didn't kind of fit too well with the game, was the fact that you're in these caves and there's not really much to the caves. You got lizard people, goblins, I think there were goblins, and also skeletons and other creatures after you, but other than that there's not really much to it, which is a shame, but I think the developer's going to carry on doing and updating the game. Graphically, obviously it is very retro-like, and this really shows when you're in the game, but I think there's just about enough here to actually warrant playing the game. Sound-wise, again, it's a little bit sparse. I know it's retro and all, but the sound was kind of like the lowest point, and the music in the background I didn't really care for. So hit them like and subscribe buttons and follow me as we go into the score. So basically here we have a retro style dungeon crawler with all the hallmarks of something that could be amazing. And I think if the dev carries on updating it and does the right thing towards it, I think there could be something very special here. As it stands right now, I think it's probably priced around about what I would say it's worth, which is good to see another dev that doesn't overly charge for what the product he's putting out, or at least at the moment. And for all of that, I will be landing on a 6 out of 10 for Dungeon Adventures, and I really do look forward to how he actually takes this game and progresses with it.